favor, resources, opportunities. You're going to see what your parents and grandparents dreamed of. You're going to walk into the blessing that they prayed for. These ancient gates are about to open for you. It's because of your grandmother's prayers. It's because your great-grandfather honored God. You're going to see generational blessings. My father dreamed of having an auditorium with 20,000 seats. He talked about how one day he was going to buy the Compaq Center. This is when he had an auditorium that held 2,000 people. Years before the Rockets ever moved out of this facility, God put the dream in him. He could sense something big was coming, but that door never opened. He stayed shut out. But God knows what he's doing. He's a faithful God. The fulfillment of that dream wasn't for my father, it was for his children. That was an ancient gate that had been shut. It was in our family line. God had already promised it. At the right time, the doorkeeper opened that ancient gate. I'm living in the dream that started with my father. Daddy was very influential. He was very blessed. But he never saw the favor that God is showing me. I say this in humility, giving God all the credit. But God has taken me much further than my father. I often think about, what would my father think now? He couldn't even fathom what God is doing. I believe there are blessings stored up in your family line. Your parents, those that went before you, they may have seen God's goodness. They were blessed, but they didn't realize it was limited. They were in some ways still locked out. Like God did with me, you're going to see ancient gates open up. You're going to see the fullness of what God had in mind. Maybe there's been depression in your family line, sicknesses, everybody gets heart disease, everyone gets divorced, strife, division. It's like you've been locked out of good relationships, locked out of happiness, locked out of good health. God is saying those ancient gates are about to open. Doors that have been shut for your family, chains that have limited you for generations are being broken. God is releasing you into increase, into new levels, into something that you've never seen. It wasn't what you did, it was the doorkeeper showing you favor, bringing the right people, freeing you from that addiction, lifting you out of the struggle and lack into more than enough. And get this down in your spirit, doors are about to open. God's going to take you where you can't go on your own. Chains that have kept those doors locked, they're dead-bolted. They look permanent. They are no match for our God. Psalm 107 says, he broke down their gates of bronze. He cut in two their bars of iron. You may have struggled with the sickness a long time. Looks like you'll never get well. The door to health has been chained, so to speak. I can see the chain breaking. I can see the hinges moving. God's about to do something supernatural. Or that addiction, depression, anxiety may seem permanent. Every thought tells you you'll have to live with it. You've been locked out of freedom. I can see the deadbolt turning. I can see the door starting to open. You're about to walk into wholeness. But it seems like you can't accomplish your dream. You don't have the connection. Loan didn't go through. Like it's an iron door. It'll never move. I can see those bars of iron being cut in two. I can see God doing something unusual, uncommon. He's about to unlock some things that have been limiting you. Doors that look impossible are about to suddenly open. A door to healing, a door to freedom, a door to promotion, a door to a spouse, a door to a baby. The report may say you can't have children. You've tried everything. Seems like the door is locked. Medically speaking, it's not going to happen. So get ready. The doorkeeper is about to open up your womb. Against all odds, you're going to conceive and have that baby you've been dreaming about. You've been single a long time. That door to meeting someone has been closed. Thoughts will tell you you'll always be lonely. No, a door is about to open. You're about to see a divine connection. The right person is already en route. The reason you haven't seen them yet is they've been behind a closed door. The good news is God is your doorkeeper. He knows not only how to open the door, but when to open the door. When it's the right time, all the forces of darkness cannot stop what God has purposed for your life. You need to tell every closed door, you are not permanent. You will not keep me from my destiny. You don't have the final say. My doorkeeper has the final say. He's promised he will open doors no person can shut. He will cut through bars of iron. He will break chains to get me into my purpose. I can see right now through my eyes of faith doors opening. I can see chains breaking. I can see you stepping into new levels of freedom, health, favor, abundance. I can see ancient gates, gates that have held you back for years, they're opening up. The King of Glory is about to come in. He's going to do things you can't explain. It's going to be supernatural. Doors opening you never dreamed would open. Promotion coming to you. The right people showing up. Healing when the report says there's no way. Freedom from things that have limited you. These open doors are going to catapult you into a new level of your destiny. Acts chapter 12. King Herod had Peter arrested and put in prison. Herod was against the church. He had already had James, one of the apostles, killed. Looked like Peter would be next. He was in the deepest part of the prison, chained between two guards. Herod had assigned 16 soldiers to watch over Peter. There were 2 guard stations with 2 doors he would have to pass. On top of that, there was a huge iron gate at the entrance of the property. Herod went to great lengths to make sure that Peter didn't escape. What he didn't realize was he was not the doorkeeper. He was not in control of Peter's destiny. There will always be people and circumstances that try to keep you behind closed doors. Like Herod assigned those soldiers to hold Peter back, there are forces assigned to you to try to stop your purpose. The good news is the forces that are for you are greater than the forces that are against you. You may have these times where you're behind closed doors. You feel like you're outnumbered. The odds are against you. You have to remind yourself who your doorkeeper is. You have to keep this scripture in your spirit that God will open doors that no person can shut. The enemy may have put you behind a door of sickness, a door of trouble, a door of addiction. You feel chained. There's no way out. No, your time is coming. God wouldn't have let that door close if he didn't have a way to open it. We have a gate on our driveway at home. Sometimes when a friend is coming over or repairmen, I'll watch for them out the back door. I can see when a car pulls up. They'll come to the gate and stop. When they're about to get out and try to figure out how to get in, I'll hit the remote control from the house. The gate opens, they drive in. Invariably, they'll say, I didn't know how I was going to get in. Then the gate just opened up. I tell them, yes, I was watching for you. I have the remote control. In life, you'll come to these times where you're at a gate, a closed door. You don't have the code. You don't know how you can get through it. It's too big. It's an iron gate. Don't worry, God has the remote. There's not a gate you're behind that God doesn't have the control. It works all the way from heaven. All he has to do is push the button, give the command, and angels go to work. Mighty warriors, these powerful forces, carry out God's command. When you come to a closed door, an iron gate, like I was watching for my company, knowing that they weren't going to be able to get in on their own, how much more is God watching for you? How much more is he aware of what you need, where you are, what you're up against? He knows when you're at a big gate, an iron door, you don't have the code. The sickness is staring at you. The financial problem